Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here and welcome back to my weekly dose of inspiration, empowerment, and real talk. This is the first episode of Becoming Her, a 6-week series of unlearning and resetting to uncover and become your best self. Let's get into it. So, who do you learn to be? To feel safe, to fit in, or to be liked? Who is the woman you have become to survive? But not the woman that you dreamed of becoming. Not one you fought to evolve into, but the version of you who learned to shape shift. I think sometimes as women, we can actually forget in being able to adapt, we become someone else. And you might not even really realize how much of her is still driving your life. There are 3 little things that I've had to unlearn to become the woman I am today. And I want you to unlearn these things too, because they may be holding you back. 1, I want you to unlearn the belief that your worth is conditional. Also, I want you to unlearn the idea that love has to be earned. And 3, unlearn the grind to be enough. Because when we live by these rules, we're not living at all. We're actually performing. And let me tell you something. That performance usually starts early in life. Maybe it was in your family, or maybe in your first relationship. Maybe in a culture that you told you're too much or you're not enough. And let's pause here for 1 minute. I want you to think back. Can you feel when you started to shrink yourself to be accepted? Can you actually remember the moment you stopped just being and you started performing just to be in that place that you may not even want to be? You probably didn't even wake up one day and say, I think I will put myself and wants and thoughts to the side just to please other people or make them feel good. No, it doesn't happen that way. It's way more subtle and you absorb things without even knowing. And that is the problem. Let's just have a think for a minute. You were praised when you were quiet. You were loved when you were useful. And you were accepted when you said yes. Even when you meant no. And over time, a quiet deal was made. And if I act this way, I'll be safe. I'll be loved. I will belong somewhere. Whether the regard or emotional benefit was, and it's for you. But aren't you exhausted now? The ideal version of yourself is exhausting. And I know I've been there. Nobody has that time for that kind of anxiety and always being super hyper aware of what you have to say on how you say it. You can't be anyone else and you shouldn't. You have to be who you are. You were created to be your full, wonderful self. And there have been so many moments, I have to say, in my personal life that I'm thinking back, and also my professional life, where I had to sit down with myself and ask, whose voice is driving my life, my choices, and how I'm showing up? And it takes some looking inwards to realize that you created a life based on proving, but not on being. I've always been super strong and super resilient, but I've also been scared and on survival mode because I had to, show everybody else that I could do it. But I had to realize that I wasn't here just to survive. And neither are you. Because there is always a cost of living according to someone else's measurements and the stick. Like they just think this way, that, and the other about you. And it can cost you to lose your voice, your joys, and your time and years sometimes. Chasing a version of life that was never really yours, and the success that looks good on Instagram but feels empty when you're alone. The relationship that actually checks the boxes but leaves you lonely in your own home. So, the big question is, But now, what am I really measuring my life to be? And who gave you that ruler to actually measure yourself? Remember, I told you at the beginning of this session that I have learned 3 different things. Well, that I think it was a reset practice called the story audit. The story audit helps you identify the story you've been telling yourself and helps you create another story for yourself. And it's not something that happens overnight, but the more you start living and not performing or pleasing or living in survival, the more you truly start proper living. Head over to my website, tamarakramer.com, and download your free story audit workshop. You're not the woman you become to survive. Keep unlearning, keep rewriting, and keep moving forward. Because you know that I'm here to support you.